Welcome everybody to the April edition of World Kitchen. I'm so glad to see you all here. And today I have a really special day for you because I have a very good friend who's joining me today to share her Turkish recipes with us. So Olcay Ayata is a longtime friend. I've known her for, I don't even know how long. I've known her for many, many years. And I've spent many mornings and afternoons and evenings enjoying her food at her home. So as soon as I thought about Turkish food, I knew Olcay was the one who would come and do this with us. So I want to introduce Olcay.
Hello everyone, welcome our Turkish cooking session. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks so much, Debbie.
I just want to say in advance for everyone who might be wondering, Olcay and I are both fully vaccinated, so we're safe and we've taken all the precautions we need to take. So don't be worried about us being too close together without our masks on. We're also friends, so we see each other, so that's fine. So anyway, Olcay has several recipes to share with us today. She's got kind of some things planned out, but I think first she wants to tell you a little bit about her culture and a little bit about what she's going to be cooking today. So I'll let you take it away.
Thank you again. Please let me know if you have any questions culture and the food that we are gonna do together. And I appreciate all of you to be here. Thanks again. The Turkish culture is like Tammy mentioned, is very hospitality. Okay. So if you are going to the Turkish person house, you gotta be prepared very well. Do go to their house with empty stomach, okay? Because they're gonna feed you very good food from, like let's say breakfast to the dinner if you're willing to stay. Okay, and the other things also I want to mention, the Turkish cuisine is like so many varieties. I can say like we have a lot of things like Mediterranean food and seafood, and also of course kebabs and all those pastries like baklava and börek, and of course it's Turkish. Okay, so I brought for Tammy. We usually serve Turkish delights, and we have also so many kind of Turkish delights, like different varieties. Like you can get a rose with pistachios, all the nuts, and pomegranate with different. So they are looks like this. And then we usually serve our guests with the Turkish coffee, which I'm gonna demonstrate today to you the Turkish coffee too, how we are gonna make it. Okay. These are special cups from my hometown. I am originally from Istanbul. I was born and raised in the Bosphorus. And this is the cup that we usually use. But this cup is very traditional one, especially from Ottoman time, people are using. Okay, so basically it's like this, but it's like also saucer. And you make the coffee in here and then serve your guests with this handle. It's cut with top, so it keeps warm for your guests, okay, when they are ready to eat, drink their coffee. These are all from handmade also. And I would like to mention to Tammy when she called me, I also Tammy because we are in the pandemic right now. So if this thing we call colonia, it is like cologne, but it's like a hand sanitizer. When I was a kid, I remember that, as a child, the little one in the house, if you have a guest, when you enter the guest in the house, so it is your job to serve first thing when your guests sit in the living room to serve this cologne. Actually, it was my job, I remember. And then we always thought about what is the big deal about it? Why do we need to serve this? This is the lemon essence, a little bit alcohol, actually 8 kilo alcohol in it. So we were like, why do we need to do that? But it was very common. But when the pandemic started, we understood why this is so important, because it's actually whoever entered into your house is basically clean the germ from their hands, okay? So this is when the pandemic started, it was very common and then popular in here. Actually, I couldn't find this in here. Usually in international store in downtown, I used to get it for my house, but I couldn't even find in there. But in the Amazon, this is like in Turkey, you can just buy a dollar. But in the pandemic time, I take from Amazon, it was like $25 this bottle. Okay, that's how it was expensive. Okay. Please shoot us any questions so far. As I said, I'm from Istanbul. I was born and raised in there, and my whole family is still living in the back home. And I have been living in the United States since 2004. And in State College, also, I have been living in State College since 2007, almost 14 years. And I am working at the Smart Nittany Middle School as a special ed paraprofessional. I do believe some of my colleagues in here too. Thank you so much. I love you. Okay. And that's all from my side. I think when we keep cooking, we can talk about the food and everything. The first dish we are gonna cook is Sultan's Delight. So this is very common, and it's hard to make this dish, but it is very common, and also especially right now. Maybe some of you know this is the month that as a Muslim people, people who follow Islam, they are fasting. It is Ramadan time. It's been already, it's gonna be Tuesday in a week. So Ramadan is the ninth month of the according to the lunar calendar. So it follows all around year. So you can imagine that it's hard to fasting and not drinking from sunrise to sunset, but it's okay to do it when you get used to it, okay? But if you are breastfeeding, elderly, or if you are ill, or if you are having some like health issues, you don't need to do that, okay? You can just give in a day money to, let's say how much money one person spent for the food, like 3 days in a meal. I think in the United States it's $10. They were saying you can just give, let's say $10 in a day if you don't fast that day to the person who need it. So and it's a very holy month. It's just like Christmas time. You can just share with your donation, charity. You give more to charity, and then you pray more. It's kind of you're just doing self-discipline and think about more trying to good relationship with your God. Okay. So let me just put that way. In Ramadan, usually we invite for our friends for iftar dinner because in the dinner time iftar. So we invite our friends for dinner, and then we prepare very good iftar set up dinner for our friends, our guests. So this last couple of years, it was so hard for me because I couldn't have my friends to my house for the breaking up fasting time together and the guests in my house. But I'm just praying for so far everyone they are healthy. So hopefully we will get together one time to eat in table. And in Ramadan also, we as I say, we share and then give the charity, and then we cook a lot. And then today, what we are gonna cook actually is one of the special dish for the Ramadan time. That's why I choose this dish. It's called Sultan's Delight. We're gonna start with that one first. Sultan's Delight is in Turkish cuisine. We use a lot of eggplants. Okay, that's very common. And then we even eat in the breakfast time with our tea eggplant. So I'm gonna start with the Sultan's Delight. So thank you, Tammy. I have my 2 eggplants in here. Put into my oven. If you want to grill, you can grill it too, but I prefer to do in the broil. Okay, but before I put into the oven. I'm just gonna make a little pinch with my knife. Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna, yeah, like little cut pinches.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can put our oven. Okay.
So you're creating a vent.
Yeah, yeah, I'm creating a vent. Yes, that's correct. And then I'm just gonna put into my on broil. Yes, we're just gonna put into the broil. And the next step is we are gonna do is we are gonna cook our beef stew. My beef stew is already ready. The slices are like that. But if you like to cut a little bit, smaller, you can do that too. It's okay. But I don't recommend more bigger than this slice. Okay. So it's easy to cook. Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to say. Maybe the size of a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fairly small.
Pretty small. Yes. And this dish, Sultan's Delight, is from Ottoman kitchen, actually. And then Sultan is from the 19th century. But the first time when they made it in the Topkapi Palace in Istanbul for the Sultan Murad IV. Okay. So, but when they made that time, this dish for him, they just make the grilled eggplant and then smash it and then put the beef stew on the top. But in 19th century, in 1867, when it's come to the Sultan Abdulaziz's time, so he traveled to the France because Napoleon III invited him. So for one of the museum opening, when he traveled to the France, so after that, he invited Napoleon III and his wife to the Istanbul as a gesture. So they came 2 years later, but Napoleon didn't come. He only sent his wife. So his wife Inci came with Sultan Abdulaziz to there. And then according to some sources, Sultan Abdulaziz and Inci, they love each other, but because she was married with Napoleon III, Sultan Abdulaziz's wife mom didn't like it, which we call Valide Sultan. So she kind of made her to be forced to leave the Istanbul and then went to Paris. So, but that's why this dish has become very sad love history behind it, because of when Iyonji came to the Istanbul, her chef, she brought her French chef with her too. And then in Ottoman kitchen, one Ottoman chef was working together with French chef. And then he did see the chef from France was making a bechamel sauce. And then he thought that, okay, maybe he can add eggplant in that bechamel sauce. And then he put the beef on the top. So he served the Inci and Sultan Abdulaziz in the Beylerbeyi Palace that time. So that's why they really enjoyed this dish. So since then, we are making this dish with bechamel sauce, and then it's called Sultan's Delight. I just want to give a little bit story about behind it before I started. Please, if you have any question, you can let us know. Thank you, Tammy. Okay, I'm going to put my oil in it.
And how much oil?
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So the oil
I told Tammy when I'm cook, I don't follow the recipe that much. I'm sorry, because like when I start cooking, I just go, my own style. But because people, yeah, and
the recipe says about 2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons, yes, we can put 2 tablespoons.
So you can just pour.
Okay. Okay, I'm just pouring, but you put just 2 tablespoons, my dear friends. Okay. You can put more if you want to. If you're a butter lover, you can add like one tablespoon butter too, because meat we want our meat to be tender. So meat loves butter. We all know that. Okay. All right.
You have about 2 pounds of stew beef there.
Yes, we have 2 parts of stew beef in here. So I just want to make sure they all got, you know, the oil. So
is anyone cooking along with us today?
yeah, anyone cooking along with me today?
If you are, let us know if you need us to slow down if we're going
Yeah.
too fast. Oh, okay. Someone's gonna make keeps auto-correcting. I think she's gonna make the kofte and the rice.
Yes.
Okay. So what's the difference in kibbeh and kofte?
What's that?
Kibbeh and kofte? I think kibbeh is a Arabic word.
Yeah, we don't have kibbeh.
Yeah, you have kofte.
No,
Yeah.
no. We have kofte, and in kofte is like we have so many koftes. Like each city has their own kofte in Turkey. Let's say each state has their own kofte style.
That pan might get warm on the side.
Yeah.
That's a hot.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So I'm just gonna leave this a little bit because this can be, you know, the beef can take a while to cook while this is on the stove top and cooking. We are gonna move to make a kofte, okay? Okay, Alex. Kofte is very traditional in Turkish cuisine, as I mentioned before. It is also we have so many koftes, okay, with different koftes, like we call regular kofte, and then also it's called inegar kofte. Like each state has a different kofte or çoban kofte. We have so many. I have in here my ground beef first, okay, my friends, and I'm just gonna go over a little bit to make it calm. And then usually the kids out like it's like a meatball in American kitchen, I believe. Do we have any questions so far or no? Are we okay? Okay, not yet. Okay.
What do we need?
So we need kofte. Okay, we have, yeah, those are. Thank you. All right. So for kofte, you can put a
So the recipe calls for 1 pound of ground beef, but I think we have 2 pounds there.
Okay.
We're making a lot tonight.
Yeah.
Leftovers.
Okay.
We love our leftovers.
Yeah. And then also I have my, you know, breadcrumbs. So I usually make my own at home, like the leftover bread. I just go over and mix that in the freezer. Okay, we can use that one. And then I'm gonna put 1 egg in it. If you don't like bread, trying to cut your carb, you don't need to put it either. That's fine. And then if you are, you know, allergic to dairy, you know, like egg, you don't need to put egg either. So, but I'm just making in the traditional way, okay? Because sometimes even at home, I don't put eggs in it if I'm out eggs or stuff. So you don't need to put in it. Okay. I told Tammy, even though I'm cooking, I have to clean right away. I'm sorry. Okay, and then I have my cut onions ready, so you can just put 1 onion in here. Okay. And then my garlic powder. garlic powder, you can just cut in garlic too, that's fine. You follow the recipe. So I'm just gonna pour because we have extra meat in it. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit more garlic. If you don't like garlic, you don't need to put it either. So that's fine, my friends. And then I'm putting the cumins in it too. Okay. We put on the recipe allspice, but we didn't have the allspice, so you can use any kind of Italian seasoning too. And some of you might know Italian and cuisine and Turkish cuisine is also similar too because it comes from same regions. And then Greeks also too. And I'm putting my salt. And black pepper. I don't have my nail. Okay, I got it. All right. And then the last thing what I'm gonna add is, do we have parsley? No, right?
No.
Okay, good. And oil. I'm gonna add the oil. Yeah. Thank you.
I don't. Oh yeah, 1 tablespoon.
1 tablespoon oil.
For
but
1 pound.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm sorry, I have to go through like make a dough, like kind of bring all of them together. Oh, thank you, Tammy, for taking care of that part. um, This is very actually easy to make, especially, if you are working and then, or if you have a guest, so you can just put it together and put in the oven. It's like a grill. Also in the summer, you can enjoy with the grilling. Next to you can grill black pepper or tomatoes too next to it. We eat kofte with so many things next to kofte. We can eat with, we cook with rice, and then you can eat kofte with rice in our culture. Also, you can make kofte with, you can eat kofte with like as a sandwich too. You can make sandwich in kind of, especially kids loves it. So it's very common in our culture. And then next to it is French fries.
How long should the eggplant be in the boiler for?
It should be in the 30 minutes, but we can check it because, as I say, every oven is different. So you all know your kitchens and stuff. So for me, it's hard, for me to cook sometimes, even though when I go my mom's house, because I don't know even her, oven, how does it work, or my mother's in mom's house. So I turn them over. Oh yeah, thank you. My muscles are getting work. Okay. If you like any other spice, let's say red pepper, you can add red pepper too in it. This one in kofte. Okay, thank you. And some of my friends, I remember for my really close friends, Grace, she doesn't like onion too. When she comes to my house, I don't put onion in her kofte when I'm making kofte for her. So you can just play around the recipes, okay? It depends on your preference, yeah. And you can just make a shape like this.
So kind of an oval shape?
Oval shape, or you can just make, so I learned this way from my mom. My mom used to give this kind of shape, like an oval shape.
Up higher to
Up
the
here. Okay.
There you go.
Sorry. Okay. So, and then we can just put into our.
Olcay, why don't I do some of these and
Yeah.
you can go back to the Sultan's delight.
Okay.
So we can be, because I think the meat's pretty well cooked.
Okay. Thank you. So this is just like this.
All right, I'll keep
Okay.
working on these while you go
All right,
over to
let
the
me
stove
wash
with
my
Alex.
hands.
I think when you're working with ground meat like this, it helps if your hands are a little wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I am. Thank you. All right, our meat is getting cooked almost really nice. You could check how tender you like your meat. In our culture, let me get straight this one. As a Turkish woman and who grew up in Turkey, I don't like to eat lamb. Okay, I don't like to eat lamb, but lamb is a very big meat in Turkey. You know, they use it especially when they make a kebab, but not all the time. You can ask if you travel to Turkey, if you are dining in a restaurant, you can prefer any like other than to lamb if they can serve you.
So you think
They have steak too, yeah.
Beef
Beef and steak, yeah. Okay. Just gonna check this how tender, so and then I can add my other stuff in it. Okay, this looks like it's cooked almost. Okay, so we're gonna add yeah, if you put over here. So I already prepared I already cut my ingredients. So I'm gonna add my onion first. And around like 4 or 5 minutes to with the onion cooking too. It's up to you how you prefer to cut your onion. Some people like big, some people like small cube cutting. There is no, preference. It's up to your. Okay.
Someone asked, when you make kofte on a skewer, would you use the same recipe?
To myself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually use the same method. That's why I give it to her. But I like spicy, so I ate I ate
You're
red
asking,
pepper.
do you put it on a stick? Do you ever put it on a
Oh,
stick?
you mean that's not a kofte. If you
Yeah.
put on the steak, that's not a kofte. That's
That's
called kebab, and which is actually where my husband from his hometown, Adana. We call Adana kebab. That one is my husband making. That's not my job. For that one, actually, you don't put breadcrumbs in it. So that's the definitely different recipes. Okay.
We
But-
actually we're planning a world kitchen for the summer that will be grilling, and that's one
yeah.
of the things we're going to talk about is the different kinds of kebab
Yeah.
and the different recipes for that from around the world. So we will do that this summer. I'm thinking July.
Yeah. The kebabs is, but even though like in New Jersey there's like town called Patterson, New Jersey. It's actually in there. There's a lot of like one street is like all the Turkish people live in there. You can find all the Turkish food like markets, food markets, and also restaurants in there. So sometimes we travel in there and then we eat, dine in those restaurants, and then you can eat best kebab in there too. But I cannot compare to the Turkey's kebab. No, I think I do believe when you are cooking, even though it's the same, even if it's the restaurant, but I think there's something in the you are using the like all the ingredients where you get it so important. But this, like in Turkey when you eat it, because all those ingredients from product from Turkey, it's the different testing. I believe all the cuisine is the same problem, but it's okay. For last 14 years, well, nowadays we are lucky because like we can find all the recipes and everything very easily online. I remember when I got first married in 2004, my mom never, I mean, she was always cooking at the home, and then she's the best cooker too. She cooks very well, but she's a really good chef. Um, but I never cook until before I got married. Like I was always looking her. My responsibility is just helping her clean the dishes or cleaning the house. But I love to bake, so I bake when I was teenage, but I never cook. That's why I need to give after I got married. The first time when I came to United States, June 7 in 2004. And then we were living, me and my husband, that time we were living in Harrisburg, Colonial Park, like little apartment. And then I didn't know what to cook in here. So we got the Bulgar rice. And the first thing I was gonna do rice for my husband and beans. I do know how to cook beans, but I never cooked before rice. So I asked my husband, do you know how to cook rice? So he was shocked. He said, you didn't know how to cook rice? I said, I had no idea about it. So he told me my husband taught me how to cook a rice. But since then, of course, when you are especially becoming mom, you learn while you are cooking, and you add your own skills in there. And my husband, every time when I have a guest in the house, my husband goes, like if they compliment anything about my cooking, my good friends, they say, oh, so good, thank you. My husband say, you need to thank to me because I thought also I have to cook, which he only he only told me
the same problem.
he only told me I have to cook the rice. So but I like spending time in the kitchen, especially if I'm preparing anything for my family and my friends. I love it. Cooking. It's just clears your mind, and then while it's like a therapy cooking for you, for all of us. And add this in to tomato first.
So right now we've got the stew beef and the
Yeah.
onions in there.
Yes, and then I am gonna add the tomato in here too.
Okay.
And then do we have, sorry, before the tomato, we have the paste too,
The
right?
tomato paste.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. And then I'm gonna add the tomato paste because I can see my onions is like they are just getting cooked ready, so I can add my tomato paste. And again, if you're a very traditional cooker, you can also use instead of tomato paste, you can also use red pepper paste too, which is very common in the Middle East cuisine too. I believe you are using it, Kevin, right? Okay. So I need a little bit. I'm gonna add a little bit water because of the
Oh,
tomato.
here,
You want the hot water?
Yeah.
No, here, we'll get a cup for you.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Alex. So we're using Kevin's special kettle. See, I love different cultures. So you learn so many things. Okay, that's enough, Alex. Thank you.
Use the bottom of the samovar there.
Yeah, there you go. Tamara. Actually, in Turkish culture, we're using tamara a lot too. It's very common too, but not like a Persian. You know, I think Persian culture they use a lot than the Turkish culture. Tamara. Okay. So I'm just gonna make sure all the meat and onions, you know, melted with the tomato paste. I can give you a guarantee this dish is very good, but after you eat this, you can feel very full. But it's worth it. When you are cooking, you can say, oh, you know, it takes a while, but I can tell you, my friend, it's really worth it. It's really good dishes. Okay, and then I'm gonna add my tomato in it.
It said the green pepper next.
Yeah.
The pepper and the onions.
Okay, I'm gonna add the green pepper. I like when I'm cooking. Yeah, I put in the recipe green pepper, but when I'm cooking, if I don't have a green pepper, like I use the green, yellow or red too. It doesn't matter that much because you're not serving to Sultan. So. Green pepper is also, oh, thank you, Tammy. Green pepper also is very big veggies in Turkish culture. So we use for all dishes, of course, while we are cooking, but also we deep fry the green peppers and we eat on the breakfast, mix the French fries. It's very common in Turkish culture. So if you have any chance to go anywhere, you have any Turkish friends, so if you go for a breakfast, you know, you are gonna love it. You can also eat green pepper. You could see in the story. Okay, tomatoes. Okay, so Tammy is helping me. I appreciate her for the following the recipes. Okay. And tomato, actually, we use a lot of tomatoes too. You know, when I came the first time in the United States, my husband and I, we went to shopping and then we realized that, you know, people are buying the tomato one or two, you know, but here we are buying like a 2 pounds. And then one cashier told me that, what are you gonna do this my tomato? And then I said, I am cooking. I'm using a lot, and especially right now we are gonna do today to share with you too is the shepherd salad. So in Turkish cuisine, we eat a lot of salad. We have so many kind of salad, but the shepherd one is the very common one. So and then that's why we in every meal we usually eat other than breakfast, like lunch and dinner time, we eat salad all the time. Okay, then the next one is so while my
There's a little more water, but do you
Yes.
think you have enough or you want more?
we can add a little bit more.
More hot water?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Alex, you want to spigot for
Here you go, Alex. Let's do it. Okay. Let's add. I think that's enough, Alex. Thank you.
Okay, so you're just trying to make it so that the tomato paste is more of a
Yes.
sauce
Yes.
with that hot water.
Yes. With hot water, and then you just need to make sure that you have a little bit texture of the tomato paste too, while you are gonna put on the top of your eggplant sauce, like bechamel sauce. Because we want to see that tomato in
That
there too.
red
Red, yeah, red.
sauce. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is
Maybe you think if because you want any more of the taste or you think it's enough?
we can use more too. That's fine.
It's up to,
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to you. It doesn't look as red as
Yeah,
I'm used
yeah.
to it being.
Yes.
So I'm thinking maybe more tomato
Yeah, we
paste.
can add more. Yeah. Yeah. Then again, please make your own decision while you're making. If you don't like that red, it's okay. But we love like more reddish, like tomatoes paste in our food. Actually, in there's the saying in Turkish culture, they say if you don't cook without tomato paste, like less tomato, that means you're not a good chef. People can judge you very quickly. Okay.
I wish you could all smell this. It smells amazing. So nice.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then the next thing is we are gonna do is we done with kofte.
Yeah, have that right here.
Okay. So
You want
we
to bring
can-
that back over there?
Yeah, we can put that in the
Yeah, you
oven.
want to show them?
Yeah.
So Alex is going to go back to the overhead.
Yeah, thanks
I
to
will.
Tammy while I'm working on the Sultan's Delight meat section. So she finished all the padding, the kofte. So these are looks like this. Okay. If you like smaller, you can make smaller. If you like yes. Okay. If you like a little bigger, like a hamburger style, you can do that too, and then you can serve your children's with it like as a hamburger inside of the hamburger bread. So I'm gonna put that in the oven to broil, and then please make sure again it depends of your kitchen utilities. It's always depends on different. Everyone's oven is different. So you can just broil it, and then if you want you can switch or turn it over and you cook it, but it's usually at least it's 10 minutes it's done. Yeah. And
We're going to get a cooling rack out and pull the eggplant out because I
Eggplants,
think
yes.
they're about ready.
okay, so yeah, and then and then I can pull them up. Thank you. Okay.
Be careful, very hot.
Okay.
Okay, here's
Yeah, ready?
Nope.
this is split open here a little bit, so yeah.
Yeah.
When you turn it over, maybe you cover the vent.
Can I get a fork?
Sure. It's right in front of you here.
Oh, here. Okay. All right. So if even in the summer, I mean, if you have, it just depends on your preference again. So if you like, you can just use into the grill too. You can grill eggplant too if you don't like to do it in the oven. Okay.
How long do you broil the kofte?
Kofte.
Yeah.
As I said, I think I just explained like around 10 minutes. It should be okay.
Do we flip them over at some point?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Please check it depends on each oven is different, so you can.
So we'll broil them for maybe 8 to 10 minutes, and then we'll look at them and maybe flip them over and see if they need to brown a little on the other side. Okay. So she's checking to make sure the eggplant is cooked all the way through.
I don't think this is cooked yet.
It needs more time?
More
Okay.
time. Yeah.
All right.
Let me cut this one to also see inside. Yeah. Yeah. No. not
Okay.
really.
More time.
Okay.
All
More
right.
time, plants. More time. Okay. All right. So and then we can go back to there. Is it
Okay. Do you do anything else to this?
so we put everything in it? I just want to
Yeah,
make
we
sure.
put everything but the bechamel. So we haven't done the
But
bechamel
but
and the parsley.
yeah, parsley. We are gonna put the parsley. We can add a little bit parsley right now.
Okay.
Okay. In it, and then on the top we can add while we are stirring. So I'm just gonna add a little bit. So it's just like give a little bit texture. Okay. But I know I don't like parsley that much, especially when I was a kid. But if you don't like it, you don't need to add it again. Okay. All right. So this is still cooking. So while this is cooking, I think we did almost everything. Thank you, Alex. Alex is moving all around me. Okay. Can we start doing our salad and then put in the fridge? You know, like
Sure. How long will it take for the bulgur to cook?
Bulgur, let me show the, because Tammy is asking, so I can show you. This is we call bulgur. It's like a, I'm not sure. Like I can show like that. Yeah, this is like a wheat. They call wheat and the bulgur. So this is very common in Turkish cuisine too, and actually it's very healthy. And then you can get this any international store, and I do believe I think even Wegmans has it too. So it's back then when in 80s or before even 80s, bulgur is like a poor people's or village people's food, okay, because there was no white rice in Turkey around those times. People who are rich, and they were eating they were eating white rice. And then later on, so everyone forget for a while who are not poor to bulgur in my culture, okay. But then later on, it's around like close to at the end of in 90s and close to millennium time, the because of the researchers show bulgur how healthy it is, bulgur. So and because it helps your cholesterol and it's less calories. So and then people go back to bulgur again. So but it's really healthy dishes. And then this is the package I got, like that story. I got it from, an international market in State College. Luckily, right now we have one more store, and then one of my friends opened it in Hamilton Avenue, and you can get it, either in there too in so all the Turkish product
the new global market.
It's called global markets, yes. Okay, and then
So
I
this
just got
is going to take about 20 to 25 minutes to cook. So you
Yes.
might want to do that before the salad.
Yes, we can do
Yeah.
that.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let's start the bulgur. For the bulgur, and then again, friends, I'm sorry, I prepared before. I cut my
Onion and
tomatoes and my green peppers in here. Okay, as you can see, the Turkish cuisine has a lot of veggies, as I mentioned before. And then the bulgur rice usually we ate like next to the our meat or like main dish all the time. But if you don't like the onion or green pepper or the tomatoes, and then again, you don't need to add them. You can just make. I'm just giving an advice. So just put oil and then stir with the oil with the bulgur, and then after that add the tomato paste in it. and then cook it that way too. Okay, so but I'm just making kind of traditional way, and then you can also the bulgur rice is also good with the chicken, so you can add like chickens in it too if you like it. Hopefully, maybe one day we can do together in Temmuz in here with the different recipes. I don't know.
I just want to clarify. So every time we're talking about green pepper, we're actually talking about green bell pepper.
Bell peppers, yes.
So yeah, so you can use the green one to be traditional, but if you have the yellow or the orange or the red
that doesn't matter.
bell pepper and you
Yeah.
prefer, or you
Actually, the bell pepper, what we have in here, we don't in Turkey, we don't have that much big. We have like around this big bell peppers, and then we make stuffing bell peppers, you know, rice in it, like, you know. So yeah, but yeah, any kind of pepper you can use it. It's, you know, because you're just combining with different cuisine into your, you know, different kind of the world, so everything can be worked. Okay, so with the bulgur one, actually this dish is very quickly cook, but it's just before you serve, you just need to wait a little bit to, you know, just you know, rest it. Let's put that way. It has to rest a little bit before you serve for your guests. Okay, we can shall I start it? Okay, let's go over that way. I'm making numbers, sorry. Okay. All right. So okay.
so we're doing the olive oil in the pan.
Okay. So I'm gonna put the olive oil. But if you don't have olive oil, you can just use regular oil too. That's fine. Okay. So usually I use like corn oil too if I don't have olive oil. But it is very healthy, of course, using the olive oil. Okay. And then
Saute the onion.
yes. And then put the onion in it. Okay.
I have that turned down pretty low. Do you need it higher?
Maybe medium. I can do it.
Medium.
Yeah, let's find it. Okay. It's up to you, however you wanna, you know, cut your onions again. So I'm a very small cutter. I don't know. I usually cut cubes in small, and then I do that way. And hopefully I will show you how to make Turkish coffee too, if you are a coffee lover like me. And then I cannot drink, but Tammy and Alex can taste it in here. Okay. Just trying to get this a little bit over here. All right.
I'm currently turning our kofte over.
Yes, thank you. Do we have any questions so far, or everybody's doing good? I don't know. I hope everyone is doing good throughout the pandemic time. It's been very hard for all of us. Yeah. Our only.
Olcay, I'm noticing that this is making an awful lot of food. So I wanted to say, you know, I know our very good mutual friend Wendy is watching with her daughter Corey. So if you two start now, I think you could be here in time for dinner.
You want to come? I know.
I miss the iftar dinners.
Okay.
We can't hear you, Wendy.
Oh, I said I miss the iftar dinners.
I couldn't hear.
Okay.
Oh. I think all of our World Kitchen fans, once we can all get together again, I've been talking to my friend at work that maybe we can do a big in-person World Kitchen
yeah.
somewhere, and we can all be together, we can all eat together.
World
So
Kitchen Festival.
We'll talk about that once everybody's vaccinated and we have the opportunity to get together.
Okay. I'm just waiting. I'm still stirring my onion, but I'm also waiting for the, you know, little bit like a little bit the pinkish color to my onion. If I see a little bit pinkish color, that means it's good. And then I can add my other ingredients.
So you're supposed to stir in the garlic powder around this time?
Okay, we can do that. Oh, we can.
Yeah. And then
Okay.
the green pepper.
Mm-hmm. Then again, if you don't like garlic, if you're not a garlic fan, you don't need to use it, my dear friends. But we use a lot of garlic in Turkish cuisine too. And I get a lot of questions about Turkey sometimes from my friends too. Like they ask me, you know, like, do you have a camel in there, or seriously, or hey, do you have a, you know, are you living in a tent? No, I don't live in. We don't live in a tent in Turkey. Actually, I grew up the city. You can see my T-shirt. My mom sent it to me. As I say, I'm from Istanbul, and then Istanbul is it's like in New York. Okay, it's a metropolitan state, one of the biggest states in Turkey. Most of the big companies headquarters is in there too. It's like economically and financially, it's like the heart of the Turkey. But Turkey's capital is Ankara. Okay, and actually, I want to mention about because at least we are in April. I mentioned my dear friend Temi too. In April 23rd, we celebrate in the Turkey's International Children's Day, because on that day, after the World War I over, and then of course the Ottoman Empire collapsed, and then our leader Atatürk set up the new founder of the Turkey, and then he announced that day to give Turkey's a sovereignty day in that day, and also he gave that day to devoted this day to celebrate for the children all around the world. So it is the first holiday in Turkey, given by the Mustafa Kemal Atatürk to all the children around the world. And then that day, actually, I remember everyone was so happy. We were so happy. We are all so happy in the April 23rd, because you can see all around the children, and then they are celebrating, even the older people. And then all the schools and all the stadium has the, like a really good, it's like an outdoor celebration. And the school, it takes like in a week celebration. Children prepare really good dance in the stadium, and then parents are all around, and they can see, and even all around the world. We invite children all around the world. They can come and then stay in Turkey. In the Turkish families, they host them, and then I just added, by the way, my green pepper in it, and then they learn about the culture, and then Turkish kids also learn about which country they host from. Their kids learn about their culture, and it was like a very good celebration. And then you can see, if you're not able to watch, go in person to watch those ceremonies, and then you could see from the TV, our Turkish national TV and radio also give live, and then like all those children from all around the world, they give their traditional dress and then they dance. It was a beautiful, beautiful day in Turkey in 1979.
Can Alex let you see if the kofte looks like it's
Yes.
ready?
It's ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
So
look at
by
that
the
in just a
time while I'm chatting, our kofta is ready. And in 1979, actually, the UNESCO made International Children's Year devoted to Turkish children that time. So it is really good. We celebrate on that day to do our folk dancing, and then children are so happy. The parents give them their gifts. It's so good, If you have any questions, I think that's the first. Yeah, you can see our kofta is ready, my dear friends. Look good.
Looks great. It smells really good. Smells amazing.
Smells really good. So one of the things also you can, it's really different for my American friends when they go to the Turkish house as a host. Like the host never sat down and eat with you, and then I didn't know I can see my dear friends Wendy's laughing, because I didn't know that in American culture the cook, the host, whoever prepared the food, sit down to the table. In American culture, you cannot start the food right away. All the time I was like, running around, and then I could see, for example, Wendy or Tammy, they're not eating. I'm like, it's starting, I'm coming. And then they go, no, we don't eat until the host is sit down, or whoever the chef. But actually in Turkish culture, it is very common. Whoever is preparing the food for you in the house, they have to be like in the track. They go and cook and then come back. Make sure all the time they need to serve you something. It is just a tradition that way. I remember even though a couple of my friends, they travel with me to Turkey, and then actually my mom cooked for them a dinner, and then all the time, because my mom is not sitting there, why she's not sitting there? Like, because she has to make sure you guys are eating, because guest comes first always in our culture. And then you need to, after you serve it has to be some, like, first you need to, especially for the main course, it has to be good, like let's say Sultan's delight or any kind of kofte, or any other things. Also, we have to make a soup too. The first thing you serve your guests is soup. Let's say for dinner, soup, and after that, one veggie dishes. And then after that, the main course come, and of course in the middle some pastries and salad and yogurt, like little yogurt dishes in the middle.
And tomato.
Yeah, and then I'm putting my tomato in it. And after dinner, they have to serve you you know, like dessert, especially either like baklava or cheddar. What do you call? We call kadayıf. Yeah, kadayıf. Like yeah, kadayıf. Like any kind of dessert, it has to be, you know, like more sherbet in it, and of course Turkish coffee.
Do you think this will be enough of the tomato paste, or do we want to open
I
it
think
up?
that should be okay. Yeah, let's see. It should be okay. And some people they don't use tomato paste either, but I
Okay.
like to use it. And then because we have tomato in it, it should be okay. Yeah. I hope you guys are enjoying. I don't know. I was so nervous, especially my dear friend. Let me see if she's here. Dolly, I see she's here from my lovely librarian friends from Matnitni. She was awesome. And she was like making me, you know, all the time, where's the TV star coming in the hallway? She was always making me, you know,
Make you more nervous.
make you more. No, she wasn't making me nervous. She was making me, you know, more happy. I love Dottie. She's so nice. And then my dear friends Kay, I'm not sure. I don't see everyone who's in there.
Yeah, we can't. see
I
everyone.
know.
Okay. So
Okay, yeah.
there's tomatoes and the tomato paste,
Yeah,
and then salt and pepper and bulgur. Okay,
Mhm.
so we're almost there.
we are almost there. We're making this progress going good. I hope so.
And in the meantime, our Sultan's delight is cooking nicely.
Nicely, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
that
depends
smells so
on
good.
yeah, and then especially for the meat, it depends on how tender you like it. For example, in our culture, we like you know, like well cooked.
Yeah,
you know,
very
like
tender.
especially yeah, well cooked. Yeah. A little bit more time for the tomatoes to cook.
Okay. Do you
Yeah.
want to maybe see if you think the eggplant is ready?
Yeah, we can do that
Yeah.
one.
Here, Alex, I'll give you. You have
Yeah,
another.
I believe it should be ready right now.
Okay.
We'll go back to the overhead so that you can see what she's doing over there.
All right.
Okay, it's so hot right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just gonna take our time to they are ready, so they come a little bit cooler and not make them too much. Okay. You need a bowl to smash them in.
How do you smash them?
Yes, you can.
Do it in a bowl.
Okay. So it can be.
Ooh.
They are ready, and then I can see that. And then if you don't like to, you know, if you have more time, you don't need to put the like, so you can just put the 450 and then just make it, you know, bake it like 45 minutes. So, but we are in here. I realize that we are in here, you know, like in a short time, you know, we are. So that's why I choose to use the broil. Every time when I see eggplant, it reminds me my brother, my oldest brother. He loves eggplant. It's just sad. Like I never cook eggplants for him because he never visit me. But when I go to Turkey, I don't usually get into the kitchen because my mom don't make me because you know she likes to cook. Sometimes living in the you know abroad from your family, it is hard. But I am so happy I have so many close friends. They are like you guys, they are family for me in here. So I feel so lucky in here sometimes, you know. If you have any question about the Turkish culture or the food that we are making right now, please let us know. Okay. Can we do this way? Okay.
You know what? I can finish this one if you want to go back to this, because I'm afraid it's gonna
Okay.
need to
Be
be done.
careful, it's so hard.
Yeah, that's
okay?
fine.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. So we are moving over here again to our Bulgar rice. So now I'm gonna put my tomato paste in it. When I was a child, my grandma and my grandpa, they were living in the middle of the Turkey, and then the city is called Sivas. And then because they were farmer in there, and then I remember my grandma usually send us to Istanbul, the Bulgar, and then for the winter, so we can use it. Okay, so I can see my tomato paste in the, and then tomato and my green pepper is, melted together. So I'm gonna add my Bulgar rice in it. When you are making a rice, especially the Bulgars cook really quickly compared to the rice one. So let's say if I'm using just like this much of it, so you can just add 2 cups of hot water, or cold water is okay too. But when I'm making my rice, I always choose to be hot water or warm water. Okay, so I'm adding my bulgur. If you love to use the beef cube or chicken cubes, the one what we use, so you can also put it in there too. After I didn't put in the recipe because all of them is like so many calories already, but you can use it too if you prefer. The chicken, if you want, we can put it in. Yeah, okay. When you're boiling. So I'm just making sure my bulgur is, taking the color of the tomato paste, and then cooking with it. Beautiful. Yeah.
The water.
Yeah, I'm gonna add the water.
We gonna do this one or that one?
Water first,
Water
and then we can later on add that one in there. Okay. So you can measure your water, please, but I'm just gonna go like this because I know I don't want to give Tammy extra, work. Okay. Sorry. No, more.
No, more.
We need more. So sorry. Did I make you guys confused? Yeah, it has to be more like, like up to the top.
Oh, okay, over the top of the bowl.
Yeah, top of the bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I know. In Turkish tradition way making a rice, and it's different than the American or any other countries. So we usually put like to water top of the rice or the bulgur. I think this should be okay right now. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. So Jenny just told me that she has a chicken bouillon, so I'm just gonna add it a little bit. She likes the diet, but you can put it too. We didn't put in the recipe, but if you don't like it, it's okay too. But it just give extra good texture. Okay. So, and then we just need to make sure it's just gonna be ready in 15 to 20 minutes.
Or no?
Yeah, we need to put the lid on.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, we always cook. Oh, I didn't put the salt. Sorry.
Oh, salt. Yeah, so we've got
Salt. How much salt?
half a teaspoon of salt.
Half a teaspoon of salt, but as I mentioned to you, don't do what I do, but I go like this. But you can put two.
And did you already do pepper?
Yes, I'm not sure. Let me put
Half a teaspoon of black pepper.
okay, let me add pepper too. Tammy's
Reading the recipe. I'm just reading
the recipe. I'm just like, okay, this is look very good. Hopefully it tastes good too. Okay,
So we're gonna put the lid on.
lid on, and then it's just gonna be, with the small
Medium
one,
heat, it says.
Yeah.
So, okay.
medium is okay. Yeah, this
Okay.
is okay. So it's gonna be, I'm sorry, it's gonna be boiled, and then it takes all the water, and then we just need to, it just has to rest a little bit, okay? And then we are moving
Back to the salad.
back
Or
to the,
the egg.
we can, because if we do the eggplant, we need to use the stove again. Yeah. So let's wait. Let's move to the salad. It's okay. You're fine. So because when we make the salad, that's better. So it's good.
Alex, where do we go with the?
Okay. So
the
for the
filling out?
salad, as I mentioned, we have a lot of in Turkish cuisine. We use a lot of like salads and veggies, and one of the very most common salad in Turkish cuisine is the shepherd salad. It's just basically tomato and onion and cucumber in it, and then you can add peppers, green peppers, or in here you can add any kind of peppers, and also parsley. And then in Turkish cuisine, we use parsley a lot too, even though while we are making video, while we are making some pastries or cooking, is a parsley is the kind of like every Turkish house has it in their fridge. Okay, for the shepherd salad, so we just need to pour size of the tomatoes, like medium size, it should be okay. And then I already cut it like this, if you can see it, okay. And I already cut the tomatoes like little slice. Okay, dice, yeah. Dice, and then I'm just putting in here. And then I, like cucumbers,
English cucumber.
cucumbers. I also cut them like this too. But you don't supposed to cut like how I cut. It depends what kind of shape you like it. Is fine. So I'm just adding this one into here too. Okay. But by the way, don't you like this dish, guys? I love it. When I'm working in here, before we start this, I was so nervous if I drop it or something, break them. Tammy is awesome. Her kitchen material is so good. And then I'm gonna add my green peppers, and then I cut them like small. I am very small. I cut very small when I'm cooking. But you can cut any shape you like. It there's no way you can. Bigger bowl. I didn't realize. Okay.
I think we need a bigger bowl. We're
Okay.
gonna transfer to the larger
Okay.
size bowl. There we go.
It's nice to have in the kitchen in the second person. That's why we talked with Tammy yesterday. I told her, Tammy, what's the plan? I sent you the ingredients and everything. I couldn't hear you. I was so nervous. And then she said, "Oh, we'll be fine."
Do we need that much onion, you think?
I can see someone doesn't like onion.
I like onion. That's a lot of onion.
Yeah, yeah, we use a lot of onion, but we don't need to put all of them. I think in the recipe we said
It was half a small red onion. That's like,
okay, yeah, I cut all of them
Okay.
because we have them. So just like half of small onion is probably like this. So I'm just gonna put this much. But if you like the onion, so you add it how much you like it, okay? And then of course the parsley is in here. So I'm just adding my parsley here too. When we are in the Turkish cuisine, you know, in United States, we have all different kind of dressing. So for the first time, when I came to the United States, I realized it's like, you know, when I was in the market, one section is the, you know,
dressing, all the
dressing, all the dressing. I'm like, what is this? Or, you know, I was shocked and I couldn't believe my eyes that in Turkey it's so similar, you know, basic. We only use olive oil, and lemon juice. Also, some people we also use vinegar too. But people don't like vinegar that much. They don't use vinegar. So we just basically salt, olive oil, and the lemon it is. Okay, so I make sure I put everything in here, all my ingredients. And then I'm just gonna make sure you do like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tammy has one gadget that I never used before, but it is very good.
It collects
Okay.
the seeds.
Okay,
So the seeds
collects
don't
the
fall
seeds.
in.
Yeah, that's nice. So I usually put one lemon in it because I like lemon texture a lot. But if you don't like it, you know, that much, you can use half too. Okay. But I think this amount of the salad is one should be okay. I hope you guys are enjoying. Okay.
You can kind of move the seeds.
Okay, okay.
Lets the lemons fall down.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. I don't know you guys, but I love lemon. I always put into my water. Okay. And then the next step is we are done with this one.
And then the olive oil.
We're gonna add the olive oil. In Turkey, we have some special special spice, and my husband's hometown, Adana has it, and like south of Turkey, they use a lot. It's called like sumac. It is very healthy too. Yeah, I mean you can add any. We don't need to put it, but you can add it to any kind of seasoning too. But I didn't put into the recipe because I know people cannot make it. Oh yeah, Tammy has it. Sumac is like this. To be honest with you, I had no idea how or what kind of plants it comes, but it is so good. Like it basically gives like a sour taste.
It's sour, yeah.
Sour.
It's a little sour.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna, at least Tammy has it. I'm just gonna add a little bit to my.
It is
salad.
here in the U.S. We call it sumac, and people here think of it as a poisonous plant.
Oh, really?
But it's not. People all around the world use sumac.
Yeah, it's good for the salad. I mean, we love to use it. Thank you so much, and I like that container. Okay, and then we are gonna in the recipe. I also for
Salt
the
to taste and
salt. In the recipe, I also put feta cheese, but if you like, then again, if you have any dietary restrictions, you don't need to put it again in there. But the feta cheese is kind of big, big things in our Turkish cuisine. So we eat every morning for the breakfast.
Yes, Persians are the same.
Persians
Yeah.
are the same. Well, we are all the same culture, you
Yeah.
know, from the Middle East. Actually, where Chinese husband from Iran. So Iran and Turkey, they are neighbors. So we have a, you know, to each other. So we are so close. Our culture is so close. Even as I mentioned before, with the Italian friends, and then and Armenian culture too, and also of course Greek culture. We are all, you know, our cuisine is the same. The most of the culture and tradition is the custom is the same, which we love it. Okay. So I just add a little bit, but on
The recipe says 1/2 to
One-
1/4 to 1/2 cup.
yeah. So
whatever
I
you
think
like.
this is okay for this much. Okay. So it just gives a little bit the texture. So then, and then after I put everything, I just need to make sure everything is stirred, and then all the salt, and then my lovely lemon things, and got everything. And then the one thing when you are making a cook, of course, it doesn't matter how you are, you know, the best cook or not. I think the most thing when you are putting your love when you're cooking, I think that makes better the dishes more tastier. That I always say that. I am not a really good cook actually, but my friends are saying, to be honest, I have a lot of Turkish ladies. They are very good cook and baker than me, but I just try my best all the time.
I disagree. I think you're a very good cook. I think
Thank
you're
you.
being very humble. as well.
Yeah, yeah. When it comes to the work, yeah, I think I am. Yeah. Okay. So this is how it looks like. So if you like more salty, of course you can add more salt in it. And if you like another spice, like if you are like a you know, red pepper lover like me, you can add red pepper in here too. Okay. So this is technically how my shepherd salad looks like, and then it looks gorgeous. Okay, so I think we can put this into the fridge, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
cover it. Okay, thank you. All right, the next thing is, so we are done with our shepherd salad, and our Bulgar rice is cooking on the stove top, and then our kofte is done too, my dear friends. So now we are moving to our Sultan's Delights eggplants, okay? So if you like more eggplants, you can put more eggplants too, but I just choose to do because, you know, we are making a like kind of demonstration for you. That's why I choose two. But if you have a guest like, you know, like more than 6 people, you can use 3 or the bigger size of the eggplants. So this is what we got so far, and then we are gonna go for it. So I'm just gonna make sure my friends came me just did it for me, but I'm just gonna make sure to smash it. Smash it.
have this one.
Oh, it's okay. Oh yeah, you showed me that before. Yeah, I just want to make sure to smash because when I'm making the bechamel sauce, so we don't want to, you know, the eggplant texture. So, I just want to make sure, you know, it's just like a little bit pure. So when I'm making, putting into the bechamel sauce, so it's not stuck, okay? If we have any questions, or I hope the friends that who are cooking along with me, they are enjoying. Okay. I think this is enough. So I have like this. Okay, so now I'm gonna move to the stove and then I'm gonna start my bechamel sauce. Oh, so we are gonna move to bechamel. So, I'm gonna use like this kind of pans, you know, like in the sauce pans, you can use it. Do you think we can put this back there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right? Sorry, I'm just making the arrangement in here so I can put my rice back in there. So and then I can be close to your cameras to show you what we are going to do. So for the bechamel sauce. Okay. So we're gonna add our
The one stick of butter.
one stick of butter in it. Okay.
Alex, what do you need the most?
Yeah, Alex, sorry. So I just have my stick of butter. Thank you. We use a lot of butter in Turkish cuisine. To like when you are cooking, also baking too. I say baking Turkish baking is a lot of variety too. Like we make almost everything, like a bread or some small pastries, or you know, some layer like a kind of baklava, different desserts, or kind of Turkish bagels. We use a lot of baking. We can say a lot of baking in Turkish cuisine too. That's the one of the things that I miss a lot, because in Turkey you can have a like fresh bakeries, and then you can just walk and buy, and then it's just like come out from the oven, all those like the bread or the Turkish bagel we call simit. It's one of the favorites like street foods. So also sorry, also we eat that when we are in the breakfast time. I believe Persian has it too.
The
Simit,
oh.
like a bagel.
they eat a lot of bread, but
Bread.
I've never seen a bagel there.
Oh, okay. It's not the bagel, but we call Turkish. In English, they translate Turkish bagel.
Okay.
But it's just like a you know bagel, but it's like all around. It's like sesame.
Oh, it's
Like
sesame,
yeah. It's so good.
Okay. So the butter's
like-
good and melted.
Yes, yes. My butter is melted, so I'm
And
gonna
now you're
add
gonna add
my
your flour.
flour. Then again, friends, we mentioned that before too. Like it depends on how many people you are making, so you can just judge and then add more or less. Okay. One of the thing I don't like in my house is like wasting the food. It is not acceptable in my house. I always tell my children, and then sometimes, oh, thank you. My son was like, I give them an example. You're lucky you have food, and then we are cooking, and then some people. Children in Africa all around the world, they don't have food on their table. They're struggling. you should appreciate and eat your food if you have in your plate. And then my son goes, you always give that example to me. You know, but it is the truth, you know. So I try to cook. I ask always my friends, how many people we are expecting? So I prefer cook for the person. So because I don't wanna waste any foods. And then if let's say if Wendy said Corey is coming, but the Corey is not showing up, I pack Corey's food to send it to her. Okay, so I add my flour in it too, and then this is like, you know, you can see it's just like
a roux.
yes, it's just like, you know, we are making a bechamel.
So then it says
yeah,
to add the milk.
add the milk. Yeah, we are gonna add the milk.
It says 1 1/4, but this is 1.
Okay.
1.
Okay. Can we add a little bit more? 1 1/4 we can add milk, but can we add a little bit more to flour, please?
Flour.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, this is happening when you're cooking. So you measure, but not all the time working. Sorry, I need to add more flour. No. Oh,
That's why it's working. I love you. In there. That's why it's not working.
okay. It happens.
There we
Things
go.
happen. Okay, thank you. So I just want to make sure the texture is good. Okay, I appreciate it. Okay, yeah, I think this is much better right now. If you can see, you know, much better.
Oh, it's thicker. Yeah.
Yes,
So it's more
thicker,
of a,
yes.
of a almost like a gravy consistency.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, actually, it's gonna be like a gravy.
Gravy.
It's like between gravy to the mashed potato when we add
Okay.
when we add the eggplants. We're
So
gonna
is that enough milk, or do you want the other 1/4 cup?
we can add that 1/4 cup too, and then maybe the half, not the full.
Well, this is a full, so it's
Okay, yeah.
1/4 of this.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, I told with Tammy, I warned her. I told her, you know, when I'm cook, I don't follow the recipes. You know, I usually go on my vlog, you know. And then she was laughing at me. Then my dear friends from the work, they know me too. When we were trying to sometimes bake in the kitchen and like half cup, like American, you know, measurements. I don't know them very well, and then they always laugh at me. Okay, and then I'm adding my eggplants in it. As I mentioned, eggplant is a big veggies in the Turkish culture. I mean, Turkish cuisine culture too, technically. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So now I'm just gonna make sure I'm stirring up. I just cooked this Sultan's Delight last Saturday to my husband to you know, to see how is it going. I practice at home because usually like 3 times or 4 times in a year I do this dish because it's very traditional, and then usually in Ramadan time I'm making for my guests. As you can see while I'm stirring, you know, eggplant is melted too in there too, you know. And then I'm gonna add later on salt in here too. I make sure I'm stirring up because it's milk and flour in it. You know, this kind of sauce in the bottom usually burn quickly.
So you want to stir it constantly.
Yes, I
using
stir
the whisk.
constantly.
Yeah.
Yes, using the whisk. Yes. I told Tammy I didn't have my caffeine today. Forgive me if I'm saying anything wrong, my dear friends, because I'm fasting. Hopefully, if I'm gonna break my fasting in State College, usually at morning 5 or 3, I stop eating and then drinking, and the AM in the morning, and then we break our fasting in State College like 8. Today is 8:55, I believe.
Oh, almost 9 o'clock. at
I'm
night.
sorry, 7:55.
Oh,
I'm so
okay,
sorry.
8 o'clock. 8
8
o'clock in the
o'clock,
evening.
like close to 8 o'clock, so you break your fasting. Yeah. I don't mind doing in fasting in April also, but in the summer it is hard, especially in
Longer
in
days in the
August,
summer.
yeah, 16, 17 hours sometimes. Okay. So I'm just waiting to, like a little bit cook, boil, and then when I see it's boil, and then that means it's done. Okay.
And that's when you add the cheese.
Okay. I think my Bulgar rice is done too.
Just turn all the way.
Okay, that's it. I hope the friends who are cooking along with me, I'm not too fast, and I hope I'm helpful to you. I hope you like it. I really want to hear the feedback if you don't mind, if you are cooking along with me. So when I see it's gonna be a little bit boiling, and then I'm gonna add my salt and black pepper and my mozzarella cheese in it. I'm a big fan of mozzarella cheese, but in the Sultan's kitchen on Topkapı Palace, when they are or the Bey Palace in Ottoman time, of course that time they didn't have a mozzarella cheese. They used just like regular cheese in that time when they were available in Turkey. But later on, all the chefs developed mozzarella cheese. And then while I'm preparing for this show, also I read a couple things. It says the tomatoes came to Turkey is like close to 18 and like at the end of the 18th centuries, like beginning of the 19th centuries. So they added later to tomatoes in these recipes too. Yeah, see, it's getting thicker. It's like a gravy between gravy to mashed potato. Okay, so I see this is like ready, and then I'm gonna add my salt in it. I'm just gonna add my salt. Okay, and then my black pepper in it. If you don't like black pepper, you don't need to put it. But I use a lot of black while I'm cooking. So I just make sure it's there. Everything good. Okay, and then I'm gonna add my mozzarella cheese in it. And again, if you have any allergies or anything, you don't need to add mozzarella cheese. I think the bechamel sauce and eggplant, feels better too, tastes better that way too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah, we get that. I'm just gonna make sure. So all the, everything that needs together. I was telling Tammy, I did a lot of cooking class actually. I should teach the children at the school cooking class, but they were all in person. But I never done through the Zoom, even though, you know, working in the school, I learned how, you know, to teach and then working through the Zoom with the students, but this is really different. I was a little bit nervous. Okay, you can see my eggplant. It's like I can see it now. It's, you know, it's all the cheese is melted and then everything is whisked together. So I'm just gonna make sure it's enough hot. Okay. Yes, I'm gonna count. Wow, we did all of them.
I know.
Wow. Okay, you could see, you guys should see this area. Okay. I'm gonna open a little bit because I want hot like the boiling, and then I'm just gonna put into the serving dish. It's coming. Okay. Right. So now, as you can see, this lovely Tammy's dishes. So I just pour in here to make sure every little bit got it. Okay, and then let me can I have a spoon? Thank you. Here, Alex. Okay, so I just want to make sure, you know, if you are serving, if your guest, you're gonna be good looking. So this is our eggplant, bechamel sauce of the Hunkar Begendi, and then I'm just gonna add on the top. Okay, my the beef, stew beef that we cook. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, let's maybe a little bit close to each other. Usually now I'm putting like this, but if you are serving for your, you know, individual serving, so you can just put, you know, like one a little like two spoons of like this, and to the eggplant here, and then you can add the beef cube sauce in the top. Okay. I don't know how does it look like.
It's beautiful.
It
smells delicious.
Yeah, it's like this. Okay.
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 Here
So
we have our rice, a salad, and then how do you?
yeah. And then if you are a parsley lover, usually we like to, Turkish ladies love to decorate it, all the food. So you can just put the parsley on the top, like the sparks and all that. And then that's it. So here's friends, I hope you like it. Here's our koftes in here. So, and then you can serve with kofte with the Bulgar rice. Also, you can make the sandwich if your kids like to, you know, eat with the sandwich. You can serve them like that, and then shepherd salad and Bulgar rice. Okay, and any like this is like a complete meal. Okay, in the Turkish.
They said, "What a feast! So beautiful. Thank you. It's perfect." So I know just a lot of different people are making comments. I know we're running a little bit long, but if anyone wants to stay, Olcay was going to show us the Turkish coffee.
Yeah.
But the main part of this, of course, is the recipes, and you can see we're done with that. If you do want to see how to do the Turkish coffee, she's going to do that next.
Yes. Okay. And thank you so much for having me. I hope you like it. If you are leaving, thank you. I appreciate it. This was such a joy.
They're all saying thank you for sharing your love of cooking. They enjoyed the afternoon. Yeah, everyone's saying it was great.
Thank you, friends. Thank you. So now I brought to tell you some stuff from Turkey. Like I wanted to really share the Turkish coffee. So I also brought Temi
A nice
as a
gift of
with
some
the
Turkish coffee and Turkish
and
cups. Yeah.
And then so now I'm gonna demonstrate how to make the Turkish
Okay.
coffee right here. Thank you, Alex. This is a special cup we use for the making coffee. But nowadays, of course, with the technology, it's just like some Turkish coffee machine, you can find it too. But I prefer not to buy it because I like to wait the old tradition because I don't drink that much Turkish coffee. I usually drink, regular Americano. But when I'm making Turkish coffee, I prefer use the old-fashioned way right now. Especially if my friends can come over for coffee. So I like to serve them the traditional way. So this is the, like you can use any kind of saucepans too, okay? And this is the coffee cup. So I brought it over to share with you. I shared in the beginning of our show too. So I'm just gonna use like how many people you are gonna serve for the coffee. That's why you need to put that much water in. So let's say, I believe Tammy is gonna drink.
Yes.
Do you gotta tell Alex?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Just one serving.
One serving. Okay, I'm just making one serving. Okay. So for one serving, I just need to add 1 cup of water. Okay, and then I have my Turkish coffee in here. Sorry. This is very well-known Turkish coffee company. It's called Coffee. So you can find it. I bought from here too. But usually in there, it smells so good. I love coffee. Usually in Istanbul, this company is based in Istanbul in the Grand Bazaar. I don't know, you can familiar with the Grand Bazaar. Grand Bazaar is in the world's first mall in Istanbul.
So 1 spoon?
1 spoon. So I put 1 spoon like this, like
Teaspoon. That's a teaspoon.
Teaspoon. Okay, and then if you like sugar,
Yes.
okay. So if you like sugar, I can make one little sugar in it too. So it's just basically like that. So if you have any chance to travel, I know nowadays, even though because of the pandemic, it is not safe. But even lately in Turkey situation, some of the street is not safe either. But if you have any chance to travel, I suggest you to go visit Istanbul and then to see Grand Bazaar, especially. You can see all the different things in there. It's awesome. Okay, so I put 1 teaspoon of 1 cup of water and 1 cup of teaspoons in it, and then because Tammy likes to drink with the sugar, so I add 1 teaspoon sugar too. And then this is my cup. Usually, okay, good. We stir and then wait that the foams comes on the top. Okay, foams comes on the top, and then we take the foams and put in the coffee cup. Okay, so let's see. And in Turkey, women usually gather with around the coffee time together in the neighborhood after their husband goes to work. They hang out with the coffee in their, front yard, or if they are living in apartments, they are hang out together in the kitchen together, and then just start their day before uh, drinking coffee. It's just like I think kind of therapy for the women. That's what I say. Because even in here, yeah, even in here, I love to go to my friends sometimes, and then I just call, hey, can I come over for coffee, or hey, Fatma, like some of my closest friends, I call them, and then they say, yeah, you should always say, hey, come over, or Fatma saying, okay, just drink coffee and then chat, and then you feel relaxed, and then I usually after the breakfast, it's just brings a lot of memories. And then we have a saying proverb that in Turkish culture, if you drink one cup of coffee with your friends, that means you have a 40 years relationship together. So that was very, very, very good. Around the coffee conversations in the culture, coffee culture is very, of course, now in Starbucks in Turkey too. you know, um, it's a big thing in Turkey too. Now the new generation they enjoy, but the Turkish coffee tradition never affected by it. Still people are drinking Turkish coffee too. I thought it might affect it, but not that much. And then after dinner, usually we serve the coffee because they believe that actually some health researchers they say it helps for the digestion. So and then it's help for your immune system too. So
the Turkish coffee that you use, it's powdered?
It's yes. Didn't we show? Sorry. Yes, it's like powdered. Okay, powder. Yeah.
So it's going to dissolve as
It's like that. Yeah, it's a powder. Yeah, it's not like the American side. Yeah, and then it's like this. I'm just making sure it's gonna be, hot, and then I could see the foam is coming. As I say, making the coffee is like, not easy to, because they were saying not everyone can serve the coffee if it's not the foam on the top. Some people don't like it, and then you have to redo it again. And then also in our culture, before you get married, asking for hands to your uh, let's say
the
fiancés, fiancés, parents. So the girls, the first thing the girls who's gonna get married, she have to serve the coffee.
Oh,
So
make sure you can make coffee.
yeah, make sure you need to serve the coffee. And then for the groom, some ladies put for the groom they make a special coffee. They put instead of sugar, they put salt in it, so they can see how hard he can test it. I did for Frank for sure. Yeah. Okay. Almost done. And then we usually serve the Turkish coffee with 1 cup of water and with the Turkish delight. If you don't have a Turkish delight, usually some small candy or a chocolate we serve it. It is not good to just to serve coffee or tea by itself in our culture. You gotta serve something next to it. Okay.
So we have foam, huh?
Yes, the foam is coming.
Okay.
You can see I'm taking that because we are just making for one person. That's why. But if usually, let's say if you are making for 2 or 3 people, it's just like more foams. Yeah. So I guess I'm not gonna fail. Let's see. And then other than coffee is the tea is the big just like regular black tea is a big big thing in our culture. Like actually, if you compare to American, how in American culture we drink coffee, it's just the same thing in Turkey and Turkish for the Turkish people, the tea. We love tea. We have a like Tammy has in here. It's called samavar. We do also have samovar too, but other than samovar, we have like two pot of teapot, and then the bottom pot is just boiling the water, and then top is for the brew of the tea. And then we use a lot, like the first thing we drink in the morning in Turkey is the tea. Okay. And then you just, especially Sunday breakfast time is a big thing because it takes like more than 1 hour as a family. People always gather special. As you can see, my phone is coming, so I'm taking it. The phone. I hope Timmy likes drinking coffee. See, this is my phone. And then I'm just putting one more time to see it's boiling nicely. And then make sure it's hot. Okay. Then I'm just pouring.
Wow, pretty.
And then there's also other thing in Turkish ladies, in the Turkish culture. If after you drink Turkish coffee, you gotta look to fortunes. Right? Okay. Yeah, that's the coffee.
We have our coffee
Okay.
we'll put our little lid on to keep it warm.
Yeah.
And then we have our Turkish delight that you want to serve with it.
Yes.
Here we go. Our Turkish delight. Okay. So this is pretty complete. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a complete dinner.
That Olcay can't eat until 8 o'clock.
It's okay. I'm already full anyway.
Okay, Alex, you want to go back to the front, please?
Yeah.
All right. So we want to thank everyone for joining us today.
Yeah.
Olcay did amazing food here. I can't wait to try it. And I want to invite you all next month on the 16th of May. We will be doing Northern Indian food. And you'll be hearing more about that soon, very soon. And check our website, wpsu.org/world for more information.
Yes.
And thank you, Olcay.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate
Thank
it
you
so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much, dear friends. Enjoy your rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a good
Bye-bye.
day.